Okay, welcome, ladies. Welcome. Shalom to all. Hope everyone had a very Baruch week. So, we're gonna open up with Palau. We're gonna give all your and praise to Abba Yahuwah, our Elohim. I'm gonna ask Salaki. I don't know why it went upside down. I'm gonna ask if any of you sisters have a praise request. Do any of you ladies have a praise request? If there's something that you want to talk about, give esteem to Abba Yahuwah about anything happened during your week, negative or positive, you can share with us right now. We can pull out for one another. But I want to also start off by saying that I give all honor and praise to Abba Yahuwah for where he has brought me, where he continues to bring me. I Palau, that he continues to keep everyone here. And, just remember to, through rain, through sunshine, Salaki. Salaki about that. So through rain, through sunshine, okay, through good times, through negative times, we want to always remember to continuously praise Abba Yahuwah at all times, no matter what the situation is, okay? So a couple days ago, my sister reached out to me while I was at work. My sister reached out to me and she said that our grandmother was hospitalized. And our grandmother was hospitalized, and she told me that, she wasn't doing well. They saying that she may not make it. So, my father, that's his mom, everyone kind of broke down. Everyone was saddened. So lucky, my screen keeps going blank. So everyone was saddened by that. But she is responsive, so she can wink. I'm not wink. She can like move her eyes at sound. Like my dad was like telling her to close her eyes. She closed her eyes while he wiped some cold out of her eyes. So I just say keep praying for her, keep talking to her, and that's what they'll continue to do. So we're gonna keep my grandmother in Palau, and we're gonna just continue to keep all our loved ones in Palau. Everybody going through something. I don't know what is going on my screen today. So we're gonna continue to keep our loved ones in Palau, and everyone, we're gonna continue to keep everyone uplifted. Francis, Sister J told me she lost a loved one also. So we're gonna keep you and yours in Palau also, Sister Francis. Just help praying that Abba continues to keep us and our loved ones. Just a second, I forgot to do something. Hey, Sister Katrina, I'll be right back.
Hey, Sister Rinnah.
It's like I was supposed to make a phone call at 8, but the times kind of intertwined. I forgot. Okay, so hey, Sister Katrina, how you been?
I'm fine. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We haven't seen you in quite some time. I hope everything's well with you.
Yes, everything's good. Thanks.
Shalom, sisters. It looks like Sister Rinnah is having a connection issues. So I'm gonna play a music until she comes back on.
Can you play that song again, Malcolm?
Yes, ma'am.
I love that. I'd like you to send me that song. If it's any way you can send it to me.
I will send it to you.
Can you put it in the link, please? Because that is a beautiful song.
Yes, I'm gonna do it right now.
I want to go without secular music, and I need something besides the Jesus and the regular church.
Wish I knew what I know now. Wisdom is the principal thing. All this time just wasted thinking I own anything. Humility clothes me from the top of my head, soles of my feet, yeah. Teach me, teach me, show me the way. Hide my face from the wickedness of this world, I pray. Take my hand, protect my heart, hide me in the shadow of your wing. Like a child, see purity in my eyes. Allow me to sit at your feet. Hear me, hear me. Show me your ways, teach me your paths. I'm yielding to your will. Your loving commitment will endow me, surround me in my coming and my going. Cleanse me, purge me, I want to be white as snow, so I may testify of your love to those in search of you. Show me the way. You desire truth. The inward parts you make me know you. Take my hand, casting all my cares. Refresh me with the waters of life. Like a child crying softly, forgive me. Allow me to approach your throne. Know me, yeah. Know me. Have mercy upon me, O Elohim, according to your loving kindness. According unto the multitude of your tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against you, you only, have I sinned, and done this evil in your sight, that you might be justified when you speak, and be clear when you judge. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, you desire truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part you shall make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which you have broken may rejoice. Hide your face from my sins, and blot out all mine iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O Elohim, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of your salvation, and uphold me with your free spirit. Then will I teach transgressors your ways, and sinners shall be converted unto you. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O Elohim, the Elohim of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud of your righteousness. O Yahuwah, open up my lips, and my mouth shall show forth your praise. For you desire not sacrifice, else I would give it. You delight not in burnt offering. The sacrifices of Elohim are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart. O Elohim, you will not despise. Do good in your good pleasure unto Zion. Build you the walls of Jerusalem. Then shall you be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offering and whole burnt offering. Then shall they offer bullocks upon thine altar.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Salaki, I'm so sorry, sisters. I had a important phone call that came in. I have on do not disturb in my settings now, so hopefully no more interruptions. That was Sister Martha Norwood. I hope everyone enjoyed the music. I think she has a beautiful voice, very talented, and righteous woman of Yahuwah. Hope everyone enjoyed the music. So without further ado, Salaki, was somebody try to say something? Was that
No, I
sister?
was just saying I love it. That's my favorite Psalms.
Sister Francis, you like Marco Norwood and her music?
I love her.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So we were in the midst of Palau before my phone call came in. And I was just informing
I
everyone.
also sent the music on the chat too. If
All right,
anybody,
cool. Tutoraba. Thank you for doing that, Sister Marka. Thank you for posting that so everyone can have access to the link, just in case you want to listen in on it in your spare time, okay? So right before the interruption, I was saying that myself and Sister Francis have something going on in our families, and with our loved ones. Sister Francis had a loss recently with a neighbor, and myself had my grandmother in the hospital because they're saying she have an infection with her lungs. I think it was her lungs, and they were saying her kidneys aren't producing urine. And these doctors were saying that my grandmother wasn't going to make it through the night. But this was 2 nights ago, and she's still holding on. And my dad and uncle have been talking to her, so she's responsive to some sounds. And like I said, my grandmother has been through from everything to from COVID. She's been through also pneumonia twice. She's been on not a respirator, a ventilator. She's been on a ventilator before, and she came out of it. She's one of the few people who came out of that. And now she's on a ventilator again. So they're saying the eyes don't look good, but we're gonna keep all the Amuna, all the faith in Yahuwah, right? And Yahuwah and Yahusha, that healing be done. We know that Abba has a final and last say, so that's what we're gonna put our trust in. Okay, so anyone have a praise report before we go on into prayer? Any praise reports? So that's my testimony. And Queen J, her loved one, her neighbor passed away recently too. So we're gonna keep her family all and her friends uplifted, okay, and their families. So Sister Francis, you wanted to say something, sis?
Two friends died. One died 3 days ago, and one died yesterday. Close friends. I mean, close. Close. My family.
This is not the same. And then I know you said your husband also had a loved one who also left the earth realm.
Yeah. But then at funeral was Saturday.
It's so much, there's not even any words that I know that could be said to better a loss. It hurts. We're just gonna we're gonna be, straightforward and honest and say that loss hurts. There's no question about that. Especially loved ones, especially someone you're close to, especially. So there's no words that can be said that's gonna take away that pain or that's gonna undo it, All we can say is that our comforter, who is Yahuwah, we don't know why he allows these things to occur. Only the Almighty truly knows the reasons behind what is going on. I just want to say, please keep the Amuna, which Amuna in Hebrew and our tongue is the word we use for faith. Okay, so please I know it seems kind of hard at times to still be like, well, I'm gonna go on praising, I'm gonna go on, having my trust and my Amuna and the Most High Yahuwah. But it's vital that we understand the times we're living in. and it's drawing nigh the end, you know, and one of the tactics and the trick of the adversary is to attack the mind. And by doing that, is placing the seed of doubt and trust in Elohim, in Yahuwah Elohim. So we have to keep in mind, ladies, that it does hurt. It is very unfortunate, and it's tragedy. And these tragedies that occur, sometimes we start to doubt and question, you know, Abba, and say, well, why are you forsaking me? Or why, you know, why is this pain occurring? Why is this loss and this death happening? Especially the good people and righteous people. So, like I said, only Abba knows, you know, only Abba knows. Sister Francis and all the other sisters, you know, if you're dealing with a tragedy, my heart goes out to you. My prayers go out to your family and yourself. I just want you to please continue to keep trust and Amuna alive, that you don't start to question or doubt the Most High, because it can happen. We're being tested and tried, and you know our Amuna will be tested as well. So you know, you have to have the conversation with the Most High, and you know, don't be afraid to go before Him and you know, let Him know that you are in pain, and to help Him for Him to help you to deal with coping with the loss and the pain and the grieving process, because otherwise the enemy will start to attack our mind and us spiritually, you know, because Abba Yahuwah has, like I mean, we know we all have a number. Like my mom used to say, this is not home. You know, this life is temporary. This is not our home, you know. And when the Almighty calls us home, only He knows that number. Nobody knows what our number is, you know. And I know still, even with that being said, it hurts, you know, not to sound insensitive. I'm just saying that the Most High, you know, he's a giver of life, and the taker of life as well. So it hurts. It really does. We just have to remember to please keep our mind and keep our trust in Him. Please continue to do that and stay prayerful. All right. So we're going to go into Palau now. Abba Yahuwah, to the Rabbah, for all the many barakah that you continue to continuously bestow on us. Abba Yahuwah, we are living in rough times of pain, loss, grief, sorrow, and sadness, Abba Yahuwah. But all in all, we praise you and we continue, Abba Yahuwah, to keep you first and keep you in esteem and give you all your all praise, Abba Yahuwah, for being who you are. We know that only you know why certain things are happening, Abba Yahuwah. All the evil events and everything unfolding, Abba Yahuwah, we know that there's a reason why you allow things to occur as it does. We're going to continue to keep trust and hope in you, Abba Yahuwah, and Amuna in you. And we're allowing for the safety and security of your daughters and of our families and our loved ones, Abba Yahuwah. To the Rabba, Abba Yahuwah, for continue to provide for us, Abba Yahuwah. Continue to be our rock and our refuge and our strength and our healer and our redeemer, our sovereign, Abba Yahuwah. To the Rabba Yahuwah, for all things, we will praise you no matter what, in the sunshine and the rain, through trials and tribulation, through good times and bad times, Abba Yahuwah. Please give us the mind to understand, Abba Yahuwah, better what we do not understand, Abba Yahuwah. Help us to know, Abba Yahuwah, what it is that your will is and what you require of us, Abba Yahuwah. And all these things we ask of you, Abba Yahuwah, to the Rabba Yahuwah, in your own Yahusha name, Amana. Amana. So, the Most High had put it on my heart, on my leg, to do a preparation class today. So it's what's ironic is that My congregation and my elders and pastor were just actually, she had a call right before we went into class, and she kind of, just, it was like spur of the moment thing, but she said, I need everyone to get on the call, and she discussed a bill that's being passed. I forgot the number of the bill, but I have to look it up. Pretty much they're trying to go after now, the government go after like the medical practitioners, the herbalists, the natural, remedies, and make them report everything to the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. And we were talking about preparing. And I said to my elder, my pastor, I said, wow, it's so ironic you mentioned this, because this is exactly what I'm talking about in the sisterhood class tonight. And mind you, we hadn't even shared thoughts or ideas on this topic prior to that. So it was like the Ruach HaKodesh, the spirit moved her and moved me to talk about the same thing on the same night. Isn't that ironic that the spirit had led us to talk about preparing, about how these times are coming where we have to stock up and when we have to be prepared for what awaits us. And it's very important because we don't know when it's going to strike, but we know it's going to strike. So Abba Yahuwah is telling us now, it's time for you to get prepared and act now before, that time comes and we're just blindsided. So we want to make sure that we have everything in order while we still do have the time to get things in order, and make sure that we're prepared for when that time does come. Okay. Sister Marka, would you so kindly open us up with the PowerPoint presentation? I have a PowerPoint presentation, and then I have a few links for us to go over. All right, so ladies, we are recruiting. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our class. So this is a sisterhood class, TLOJAF, with the Daughters of Zion Sisterhood. And we are recruiting, okay? We're looking for strong sisters who are dedicated and liberating, uniting our sisters in the struggle. We must build teachers, righteous mentors to give to our sisters in the nation. We are under the leadership of our national president, Nasi Nasir X. In order for someone to join, they must email TLOJAF777@gmail.com. Again, that's TLOJAF777@gmail.com. If you know any ladies you want to refer, I know Sister Queen J, you said you referred a few people. If anybody else knows anyone, if you want to give out the flyer, that would be greatly appreciated. You can print it out, or you can just pass on the flyer through social media or email or however. And let sisters know, we're trying to build, and for the nation, we want to guide our sisters. We want to come together in unity, and we want to unite our sisters and teach them the ways of the Most High and better ourselves and each other. Okay. And we're here. May you go to the next slide, please? So myself, National Minister of Education, Sister Rinnah, I do the sisterhood class here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time, which is the West Coast. All right, so our TLO JF Sisterhood Education Development Class mission statement is: the mission is for the straightening of our nation and community and the edification for living set apart, as well as breaking generational curses and old patterns. Once again, we're under the leadership of our national president, Nasi Nasir X. So this is a short checklist, but we're gonna go more in depth into this, ladies. These are survival prep. Can everybody see this, by the way? Is it big enough? Yay, nay? Con, low? Yes, no? I hope everyone
Yeah.
can see the screen.
Yes.
It's
Con?
small.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. So this is a survival preparation 101, okay? This is just some basic things. So you want to have water, okay? 1 gallon per person per day for several days for drinking and sanitation purposes, okay? So we gotta make sure we have food, at least a several day supply of non-perishable food. So non-perishable food, you know, can be things like canned goods, canned beans, canned peas, canned vegetables. They do have a expiration date usually on a canned goods, but they have a very long shelf life. All right. So, and listen, even if worst came to worst and you go a little bit over that use by date on the can, I'm sure it won't kill you. So we still want to make sure to have the canned goods, because the worst come to worst and you know there was a famine, I would still eat a expired canned good. I would still eat some peas or something that says it expired a month ago. I mean, if it boiled down to it, we talk about survival. So battery power or hand crank radio and a NOAA weather radio with 1-tone alert, a flashlight, a first aid kit, extra batteries, and a whistle to signal for help. All right. Dang, there was one thing I did forget. I meant to also put walkie-talkies. There's these like military style walkie-talkies. I'm gonna ask Sister Marka probably later on. Please remind me, ladies, about the walkie-talkies, because there might come a time where we might not be able to speak like we are now with our phones and our devices. You know, if the internet is shut down, if the phone lines are shut down, we want to make sure that we're able to communicate with one another an alternative way. So one other great way would be to use the military grade walkie-talkies. They might be a little pricey, but if everybody could invest, that would be great. Generators also, that's something else that would be good to have for just in case power runs out, you know. Some people need power because some people use machines, you know, breathing machines, all type of stuff. So we want to make sure that that is something as well that we invest in if we can. Sister Marka, can you please go into, yeah, this is perfect. So ladies, this is a can you all see this survival kit here on the screen? I know it seems a little pricey. It's 200, over 200, but we're gonna show you what it includes. There might be even some for more bargain than this, but this is just one example. It doesn't have to be this exact one. I was just showing you some things that you might want to consider investing in at some point. This is a 5-person emergency kit, right? Survival bag, 72 hours, Sealth Angel Survival. This site is sealthingangelsurvival.com, if you can see. Okay. Let me see if there's a way I can zoom in here. All right. So the Sealth Angel Survival is a 5-person, 72-hour emergency survival kit. It has all essential emergency items, packed securely, and 2 of our popular Sealth Angel Survival backpacks featuring the Sealth Angel 8-in-1 everyday. Is there any way, Sister Marka, you're able to? It should have a list of the items included within this. Yeah, there we go. So it's just telling us here what's included. So it has a food and water. So it says the food and water in this kit are meant to provide nutrition for 5 people for 72 hours and until help arrives. These products have a 5-year shelf life, okay? So about half a decade. All right, so 30 to 40, or is it 4 ounces of water pouches? Oh, 34-ounce water pouches. 3,400 calorie food bars. So that's roughly 12,000 calories. 50 water purification tablets. Each tablet purifies 1 liter of water. Then you have your light and communication. So it says these products come in handy during a home power outage, car trouble, or other emergency requiring you to leave your home. Tooth Angel Survival Q5 flashlight, keychain LED flashlight, Dynamo 4-in-1 radio flashlight charger, 12-hour emergency bright stick. Then it has a survival whistle. Then to keep you warm, shelter and warmth. It says these supplies will provide protection from outside weather forces. They will protect you from wind, sun, rain, and other harsh conditions you may encounter. So it says it has 5 emergency body warmers, 5 emergency blankets, 5 emergency ponchos with a hood, and then it has emergency tube tent with rope. Then it has tools. So it says these items are designed to be useful in disaster situations. They will be an available resource when you find yourself. What does it says? I can't see, that part is cut off. Oh, faced with navigation, transport, and personal protection or shelter troubles. So it says the Tooth Angel Survival 8-in-1 Everyday Kit consisting of, it has a QF flashlight, Tooth Angel pen, 11-in-1 pocket card, multi-tool compass, fluorescein rod, 5-in-1 safety goggles, pair of durable work gloves, and a paracord bracelet. Then it has your hygiene and sanitation. So it says when a disaster situation, it is useful to have access to hygiene products. All right, we want to smell fresh, be hygienic. So staying clean can protect against infection, disease, and depression. So your hygiene kit including shampoo, conditioner, shaving cream, razor, sanitary napkin, 5 toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, facial tissues, and moist towelettes. Then you need your first aid kit. So it says these first aid items can assist with minor injuries and protect against serious health concerns and disaster circumstances. So it says emergency survival kit information. It says the survival kit was designed using advice from experts in emergency preparedness industry. It follows guidelines given by government agencies and nonprofit preparedness organizations. The Tooth Angel 2-person 72-hour emergency survival kit has a retail value of $329.29. They have some customer reviews at the bottom. I don't know where I'm. Oh, it's rated 5 stars. We don't know if that's their people rating it or not, but yeah, we don't know if they hired them people to rate it. But however, with that being said, I thought this was an interesting little kit that, you know, if you guys are interested, you can probably purchase it or at least save up, you know, so you can invest in it at some point. And like I said, there if not this one, there's some that are similar to this. If you find this one kind of out of budget, but yeah, so this will be a good idea to invest in. Okay. Sister Marka, can you go into the? Let me see what link you can do next.
Excuse me, can you tell me where you got that from? That link?
Sure.
Or
Sister
can you send it to me?
Yeah, sure. Do you want us to post it here or do you want Sister Marka to send it to you in the group?
She can send it to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you.
All right. So, all right. So, this is another link from Wild Oak Trail. It says the ultimate prepper and emergency survival checklist. All right. It says the ultimate prepper and emergency survival checklist. Being prepared drastically increases your chance of survival. So it says in an emergency situation, being prepared drastically increases your chance of survival. It says prepping is not a once-off go and buy everything event. Prepping takes planning, resources, and skills. You need the essentials like food, water, and shelter, but other well-thought-out items and acquired skills will make life much easier for you when resources are limited or you need to leave your home. The contents of this ultimate prepper's checklist are basic by design. Every prepper needs different things depending on location, access to resources, and many other factors. No matter how good your equipment is or ideal your conditions are, nothing lasts forever. Make sure you rotate, restock, check equipment frequently, and know the expiration date of perishable items. If this list is overwhelming, don't worry. Everyone has to start somewhere. Okay, we hope this list will provide useful information and function as a good starting point for your prepping journey. Let's get started. So it says food, 5-gallon bucket, Meyer bags, canned goods, bulk dry goods, cooking fat, spices and seasoning, freeze dried, vegetable seeds, pet food. That's if you have pets. All right, so the food you have on hand is a crucial element of your prepper checklist. Next to water, having a minimum of 3 months of nutritious, calorie-dense food source should be your top priority. If things go badly, you might not have the luxury of going to your local supermarket to pick up more supplies. So let's just say something happens where these supermarkets are closed up, or they ran out of items, which a lot of us already see happening. When you go in these supermarkets, a lot of the shelves are empty. So we know that one of the things that awaits us is the famine. That's in the prophecies, right? The prophecies must come to pass, right? That's in the book of Chazun or Revelation. It talks about the famine. That's one of the seals. The 7 seals is famine. So especially if we live in like a bigger metropolitan area, the bigger cities especially, it's going to get real. So you want to make sure that you are prepared. 5-gallon bucket. If you want your food not to spoil, you need strong, solid plastic containers with airtight gasket lids. Then it says Mylar bags. Made from several layers of food-grade plastic, Mylar bags come in a variety of sizes and will extend your food shelf life. Just make sure you throw some oxygen absorbers in the bag before you seal it up. Okay, did y'all know there's oxygen absorbers? That's something to look into too, as well. And that prolongs the shelf life as well. Canned goods. Canned goods are easy to make, store, and last for years. Meats, fish, vegetables, soups, and full meals are all found in cans. And ladies, I recommend when you get the canned goods, make sure they don't have any like toxic preservatives in it. There are natural preservatives. Salt, for example, is a natural preservative. Salt was how they used to preserve food before we had a lot of the technology and refrigerators and stuff we have now. They use salt to preserve it. I would recommend sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, gray salt. That's what I use. I don't even use the table salt. I would recommend if you're going to use salt, at least use the sea salt. That's the better, alternative. Then you have bulk dry goods. The staple food category on every prepper's food list. Bulk dry goods are calorie dense, lightweight, and can be kept for years if stored properly. It says staple foods include beans and legumes, pinto, kidney, black chickpea, lima, navy, black eye, rice, wheat pasta, oats, quinoa, grits, wheat, berries, popcorn, cornmeal, flours, potato, and corn. Cooking fats. Oils and fats are essential to properly cook your food during an emergency. Be aware that oils have varying shelf lives. Coconut oil arguably has the longest life of any natural oil, and hydrogenated shortening like Crisco can even last longer, though it's much less healthy. So then your spices and seasonings. Spices make your food taste better and can last for years if stored properly. Food variety may be scarce in an emergency, so you'll want all the seasoning you could get. It says seasoning like soy sauce and vinegar will last nearly forever and can double as a cleaning product. Baking powder / soda is another multifunction product, great for cooking, cleaning, and washing. By the way, ladies, if anybody want to read, feel free to jump in, okay? Let me raise your hand and let us know. Freeze dried, so easy, just add water. These emergency food storage kits are built to last a lifetime. And they come in a huge variety of meal options for any taste and preference. There are many great freeze-dried food companies out there with buckets containing anywhere from 30 to 90 meals. Most buckets are made from long storage containing Mylar pouches, heavy-duty Ziploc seals, and oxygen absorbers. Those who Those who may be concerned about the quality or source of prepackaged ingredients, buying a home freeze dryer gives you total control over what goes into your meals. Vegetable seeds. Having a stock of, make sure you save your seeds, please. That's another thing. Even my 5-year-old knows. My 7-year-old, my 5-year-old was eating a lemon and she said, give mommy the seeds. And she takes the seeds from the lemon and then put it in a little bowl. And she's like, here's the seeds. Yeah, so when you eat your fruits and vegetables, make sure it has seed, because we know that everything that Yahuwah has created, it bears seed for reproductive purposes, right? So like if you eat a watermelon slice, you could save those seeds, even in the tomato, those little white specks, those are seeds. You can scrape it out, put it in like a Ziploc bag, save the seeds. And you can do that with pretty much any fruit, vegetable, or herbs. You can save the seeds and you can grow it. All right, so having a stock of seeds on hand lets you grow your food from the ground wherever you are. Seeds can also be handy for trading and bartering. Pet food. Don't forget your pet. Keep plenty of food on hand for your furry friends. And it says, if you want the full list, best prepper foods and survival storage, you can go on www.wildoaktrail.com. Okay, it says cooking, can opener, unbreakable plates / dishes, kettle, aluminum foil, cast iron pan, wood burning stove, and a solar oven. It says for cooking, unless you plan on only eating canned goods during an emergency, you'll need to think about how you'll cook your food, both with or without electricity. Can opener, if you're storing canned goods, you will need a couple of these on hand. Obviously, you need a can opener, right? Unbreakable plates and dishes. You don't want to take your fine china or heavy porcelain plates with you in an emergency. Good quality plasticware is nearly unbreakable, foldable, lightweight, and easily washable. Kettle heats water fast and doubles as a heat source. Aluminum foil is incredibly versatile in addition to wrapping food for cooking and storage. Aluminum foil can also help seedlings grow, protect your skin, clean ashes, collect rainwater, reflect heat, and could be molded into a plate board cup. I know we said we'll be careful with aluminum though, because we're seeing some information about aluminum also having some health detriments, especially like with the aluminum fillings and stuff. Some people reported some adverse events from that. So, just something to consider. Cast iron pan. So the cast iron pans will last forever if properly seasoned and stored. Seasoned, okay. Won't warp or crack and are easily used in open fires. Wood burning stove. Wood stoves are heavy for cooking and heating when the power goes out. If you don't live in an area with wood nearby, consider a multi-fuel stove to be as flexible as possible. Then it says a solar oven with no need for electricity, gas, bricks, or even wood. Harnessing the power of the sun is the ultimate survivalist cooking method. A good solar oven is portable, noiseless, and comes with a well-built-in thermometer. So myself, I'm a kind of an environmentalist, so I'm all about solar energy. So I think this is a good idea too, the solar oven, solar power. Using the sun, that's also something that I think we should eventually move towards, trying to get off of being so dependent on these electrical sources and move towards solar energy, the elements, the sun, looking to these natural things that the Most High created as sources of natural energy, so that if the power does go out, we have a natural energy source. Can you stroll a little bit, Marka? It says about water. Water Berkeley purification system, waterproof matches, water purifier tablets, water bottles, pocket filters, food grade plastic containers, and bathtub basin. You can only survive 3 days without water. You hear that, lady? So you can go weeks without food. You can go about 2 weeks? You can survive nearly about 2 weeks with no food, but you can only survive 3 days without water. So water is actually more of a necessity than food even. is if you don't eat, people have fasted for 3 days and survive. But if you don't have your body, our body consists of what, 85 to 90% water. From that, it's about 85% water. Our body consists of mostly water, so you constantly need to keep your body replenished with water. It flushes out toxins. Our body functions on this essential element, the water. So we need to stay hydrated. All right. While it is more fun to talk about tools, if you don't have access to clean water, a clean water source, the rest of your prep kit won't matter much. It is not practical to carry around huge amounts of water, so you'll want multiple filters and purifiers on hand. This talks about the Berkey purification system. It says it's one of the easiest and best purifiers on the market. It's able to purify over 6,000 gallons of water with 2 included filters, killing 99% of pathogens, viruses, bacteria, and I'm not even going to pronounce this word, trihalomethanes. The Berkey water purifying system is available in multiple sizes and comes with a backpack for easy transport. So I have waterproof matches. It says don't skip out quality here. Make sure you get wax coated matches to ensure they still work in wet conditions. So it's saying wax coated matches will work even when it's damp or wet weather. Water purifier tablets. These tablets are meant for long-term use, but will kill any harmful pathogens and viruses if you run out of clean water. So water purifying tablets is something you can look into also. Then your water bottles, you want to keep your water sources separate and have smaller water containers in case you need to travel long distance between water sources. So we need water to bathe and to drink, and sometimes to cook as well. Pocket filters. We're lucky enough to live in an era of incredibly fast and pocket-sized water purifiers. Some popular ones include the Sturtepin, Life Straw, and Katadyn. And actually, I included the Life Straw link. Sister Marka can show you ladies later the Life Straw. I have one. I don't even know where I put it, to be honest, right now. I gotta find it. But I do have a Life Straw, and I would recommend this as well. Food grade plastic containers. Don't store your water in any old plastic container, as particles can leach out over time and contaminate your water. Make sure you only buy food grade plastic buckets for food and water storage. Bathtub basin. Plastic bathtub liners like the Water Bob lets you quickly and easily fill up your tub before your supply gets cut off and gives you a huge supply of fresh, clean water. Is there any more at the bottom, Sister Martha, here? And then it says shelter. Sorry, ladies, it's long, but it is vital for you to have this knowledge, okay? So you can know what you need to know when it's not even if, it's a when this time happens. Shelter. Good quality tent, heavy duty tarp, poncho, rain jacket, sleeping bag, emergency blanket. I'm gonna try to go through this as fast as possible. I don't want to bore you ladies, but like I said, this is vital information. Shelter. Your shelter is as important as food and water. If you're forced away from home, you need protection from the rain, wind, snow, and predators. If you're able to survive an exposure to extreme weather conditions can easily kill you faster than dehydration or starvation. You need a good quality tent, large enough for the whole family and household. A good tent is strong enough to protect against all elements and predators, but lightweight enough to easily carry with you. This is very important because for the feast, we actually sleep in tents recently when we did the feast of Sukkot. And, when it was raining, the water can seep in. So you want to make sure you get a waterproof, not water resistant, waterproof tent. Also, they have tents that are like for the Alps, designed for like snow and everything. Also, they have tents they make for all kinds of seasons. So the seasonal tents as well. Heavy duty tarp. A good tarp is honestly versatile and can be used for anything from a shelter to use as a rain catcher, poncho, privacy curtain, signaling device, stretcher, and more. Yes, this is important as well. Tarp is what we use under the tent, so the water and stuff don't get inside. Poncho / rain jacket. If you're wet, you can lose heat and energy. Invest in a good quality poncho to keep dry. Then it says sleeping bag. The size and temperature rating of your sleeping bag should depend on the climate you're in. A good night's sleep is incredibly important in a stressful situation. Yeah, this is something we also use for the feast booths. We had to sleep in the sleeping bags, and it helps, you to stay warm and everything. Emergency blanket, super lightweight and portable. It says these blankets provide extra warmth, and like tarps, have dozens of other practical uses. Is there any more at the bottom here, Sister Mocha? Okay, clothing. At least these are not like long paragraphs. It says you need to keep your body temperature relatively stable to survive. Clothing can be overlooked in the survivalist packaging list, but it is essential. You need to bug out. Having the right clothing with you can be a matter of life and death. So you need warm clothing, even if warmer climates can still see unseasonal weather changes, especially if you have to travel at night. It's better to have extra layers than not enough. You need a wide brim hat, deterrs pests and keeps you protected from the sun's harsh UV rays. Polarized sunglasses protects you against UV rays for your eyes. Good quality boots. This is an important one. If you need to travel long distances or over unstable terrain, a good pair of boots protects your feet and gives you stability. Blisters from bad weather, blisters from bad foot care can be incredibly debilitating and dangerous. Always make sure your boots are broken in before you use them for long distances. This means, you wear them a few times to break into them so they don't hurt your feet. Thick socks. Again, protecting your feet is one of the utmost importance. And then your bandanas. And a bandana is an incredibly versatile piece of clothing that can also be used for signaling, marking territory, washing, used as a tourniquet, and as a water filter. And they say you can download the full article PDF if you just put your email address. Sister Marco, the website again is what is Oak Trail, Wild Oak Trail. This is the website, Wild Oak Trail. If y'all want to look at their website, feel free to. And if you want to subscribe, you can just email, you can give them your email and they'll send you this list. All right. What else we have? There's another, okay. Medical first aid kits and trauma kit. An unrelated wound or illness can quickly make survival much harder. We have many conveniences at our fingertips, but many do not realize the challenge presented when those are not available. Medical supplies and personal hygiene products are a must-have for any preppers checklist. Very important, very important. Your first aid kits, hydrogen peroxide, Band-Aids, burn cream, painkillers, liquid stitch, antihistamines. Some people have allergies. You need your antihistamines, right? Your eye drops, your blister pads, medical tape, Vaseline, Q-tip, tweezers, scissors, N95 mask, thermometer, sunblock, chapstick, instant repeller, rubber gloves, oral hygiene kit, including toothbrush, toothpaste, and floss, compact mirror, soap, hand sanitizer. Then your trauma kit. Can you stroll a little bit, Malka? Sister Malka? Trauma kit, gazes, tourniquets, compression bandage, antibiotics, slings, and saturated kit. Then your light, your LED flashlight, pocket lamps. What's going on here? The email thingy popped up. It says if you're stuck outside at night, you want a good light source and several backups. Not being able to see at night puts you and your family at serious risk. So you want your LED flashlight, your small pocket-sized flashlights are good to have, but ensure you have at least one large waterproof flashlight with backup batteries. LEDs will provide more light and consume less power. A pocket lamp, perfect if you run out of batteries. Just crank up for a few minutes and you're good to go. Lighters, lightweight, compact, and a good source of fire and light. Make sure you have a variety of lighters and at least a few that are weatherproof. Then your headlamp, having both hands free for uses. The headlamps go in your head. You see the little thing that ties around and got a light. So yeah, your headlamp, having both hands free for other uses while navigating in the dark is essential. Spring for a good quality headlamp with multiple settings and a red light mode. Solar power kit. A solar power kit lets you power your home and spaces all from the sun. You can easily purchase 4 solar kits that include everything you need to get set up. Okay, so they have solar power kits you can purchase. I haven't looked into the prices yet. So this talks about the tools. Tools are the fun and multifunctional items every prepper loves to collect. It is best to spring for quality items now to avoid them breaking when you need it and can't get replacements. All these items are standard and expensive and available to everyone, or available everywhere, excuse me. Multi-tool. Maybe the most important single tool a prepper can own. A good multi-tool has nearly unlimited uses and fits in your pocket. A knife. Every prepper needs a good knife. Make sure you have a few different types with at least one fixed blade survival knife and one foldable pocket knife. A hatchet, great for chopping wood. A saw, another great wood cutting tool. A fire starter, great if your matches or lighters run out or stop working. A shovel, a good item for camping, hiking, prepping, and protection. A good shovel has dozens of uses. Can I say something as well about the shovel? One thing to keep in mind is that when we're in the wilderness, we're not going to have indoor plumbing and all this stuff that we're so used to, having, which is a luxury to us, right? We're going to have to at some point go back to the times before indoor plumbing where you might have to take a number 1 or number 2 in the ground. We're going to need shovels because when we have a bowel movement or whatever, you're going to have to dig a hole, put it inside the hole, go inside the hole, and then cover the hole. And it has to be a certain depth. So a shovel is actually, even though it doesn't seem like it, is going to be something that is an essential that we need. Okay. So a hammer and screws, standard tools with multiple uses that could be life-saving in an emergency. Your zip ties are great for quick securing of smaller items. Buckets aren't just good for food storage. They can be used for storing or hiding just about anything, including freshly caught fish, and also good for growing food. So you could use the bucket for growing some food. You could put soil in there, turn that into like a flower pot. If you eat fish, if you go fishing, you can put the fish in the bucket, or if you fetch water. So it has different uses. Something as simple as a bucket. Duct tape, the all-purpose fixer-upper, repairs clothing, gear, and about 100 other uses. Glue, like duct tape, good quality glue can repair, hold together, or fix just about anything. So we don't need to tell you anything about why scissors are handy to keep around. Then the bungee cord is very good at securing and tying down items. Compass. Again, if the internet goes down, you want a good compass for navigation. And we know a compass it has a magnet where, because underground it's metal. So it's magnetic. So what the compact does is it's set up in a way where it'll tell you where's east, where's north, where's south, where's west. So if we're ever in the wilderness and we get lost, a compass is a very vital item to have on hand. And it says maps. We rely heavily on the internet and GPS to navigate around these days. But if the internet goes down, what you gonna do, right? You'll want a good map to guide your way. Make sure these are waterproof and brush up on your map reading skills. So these are just things, we become so dependent on this system of industrialization, of technology, of, being so codependent on the system. But there's going to come a time where we don't have a lot of these things, that we're going to have to be self-sufficient. So it's important that we learn now how to be self-sufficient, so we can be better prepared when that time comes, when all the technology shuts down and you can't go to your local supermarket and just buy these things. I tell you, the people who they say are what do they call these people, like that don't have like the pygmies and stuff, right? The people that they think are because they don't have a lot, how you know, the Western world, we look down on them and stuff. These people are going to be better prepared than we are when it comes to fetching water and catching fish, and you know, they know where to go and look for the roots, how to look for water and this and this and that. They're going to be better prepared than a lot of us are, who's so dependent on these technologies. So these are something that we should get back to, like our ancestors. They knew how to find water from the ground and all this different stuff. They knew how to build a fire. We're gonna know how to even start a fire. A lot of us don't know how to do basic things. I think I'm gonna talk to national president about this, that at some point in the near future, I think we need a survival course, like a survival 101 course, how to start a fire, you know, how to spot a poisonous plant from a non-poisonous plant, you know, which plants are edible, which are not edible. We need to know these things so that when we're in the wilderness, we'll know how to survive. I think it would be great for TLOJ to have us do a survival, like we go on like a course, because these are things we should really know. We should really know these things, especially for those of us who live in the city. If you more used to rural life, you might have some idea, but if we're used to that city lifestyle, we don't know the first thing about surviving in these type of conditions, right? Was that all for this link, Sister Malka? That was all for this link? Or is there more here? All right, it says, fishing gear. If you're forced out of your home without a reliable food source, being able to catch your food can be life-saving. Waterproof bags, store important non-waterproof items inside to keep dry. Bags are available in a variety of sizes. Pepper spray for protection. Communication. Oh, remember I talked about the walkie-talkies, y'all? There is nothing more stressful than not being able to contact your loved ones in an emergency. If the internet and communication goes down, you want to be prepared and able to communicate. Then and I'm telling you, I had already heard about this even before we reading this. So HAM radio, the standard communication, consider handheld versions for a more portable, lightweight option. Get yourself a HAM radio license so you can legally broadcast. Without a license, you can only tune in but cannot measure up. That's very interesting. So you actually can get a HAM radio license to legally broadcast on it. Very interesting. Hand crank radio, a good backup in case of emergency. Many come with built-in flashlights and solar panels. Walkie-talkies, with exactly what I have mentioned, because these cell phone towers, I can put my life on this. These cell phones eventually one day are gonna go out. Great for close range communication. Don't forget plenty of extra batteries. Solar charger in case electricity goes down. There is no if, ladies. It's when we know that it's gonna eventually go down. This system is gonna crumble, and all this stuff. It's definitely gonna be some kind of electricity. They're gonna say a power grid outage or something, but we just need to know what's gonna happen. As a last resort, a whistle can be life-saving if you get lost in the woods or as a warning to others. Contact numbers. Write down your important numbers of family, friends, and radio frequencies so you don't forget them. Bug out bag. Some of the contents. The bug out bag, or BOB, get home bag, GHB, is often the first place preppers start. These bags were designed to grab and go immediately and contain a small amount of the basics needed for survival. All right, it says this isn't your everyday school bag. You need a bag made from fairly heavy duty with lots of storage packets and space. Some of the content should include, it says lightweight food, freeze-dried, pocket water filters, stirrer pen, first aid kit, navigation tools, small handheld tools, backup communication, lightweight cooking equipment, sleeping bag / tent, cash, appropriate clothing, fire starter. What's this next under it? Important survival skills to know. All right. So it says survival isn't just about the things you have, it's also about the skills you know and the knowledge you have. Any of these skills will give you a serious advantage over those who don't know them, and they can prove useful in bartering or helping others in need. You can easily learn the basics of most of these online for free. So even though the system is going to crumble and eventually this technology will go down, while we have this technology, use it, right? In the age of information, ignorance is a choice. So you have access to this stuff for free. You could use YouTube. You could use you could look for free PDFs. You know, it's available. Canning and food preserving, cooking skills, basic medical training, basic survival skills, Morse code, map reading, HMN license operation, gardening, beekeeping, animal husbandry, foraging, edible plants and mushroom, land navigation, animal tracking, animal tracking, animal trapping, preparing game and fish, hunting and fishing, machine mechanic, woodworking, hand-to-hand combat, basic firearm training. By the way, National President Aki does give firearm training to anyone available. Anyone interested is available to you. Just contact him or let us know. We'll contact him for you. Welding, sewing. Sewing is something I know. If any of you ladies are interested in learning about sewing, let me know, and we could probably do a sewing class one day. I went to a high school called High School of Fashion Industries, and I learned how to sew. And also my grand aunt taught me how to sew because she used to make her own clothes and sell them right off the street. So if any of you ladies need that knowledge and skill of sewing, remember our foremothers were seamstresses, so it's an important skill to know. And knot making. Being prepared in an emergency gives you the best chance for survival, period. Periods. While this isn't an exhaustive list, it should get you started on your way. Use this checklist to get yourself started. You can add things slowly, and there are always skills to learn and improve on. We hope you found this ultimate prepper checklist and guide helpful at Wild Oak Trail. We're here to answer any survival, outdoor, and off-grid questions you have. Listen, if you have questions or concerns, you can email them, you can give them a call, you can browse a website. Then they even have a number. Wild Oak Trail, your everyday off-grid shop. That number is 1-844 Wild Oak, or that's 945-3625. All right. Excuse me. So yes, that's kind of an extensive list, but guess what? The information is out there, right? Ladies. So another thing, some of us live in a city, some of us live in apartments, some of us live in houses, some of us have backyards, some of us don't have backyards. Some of us will eventually probably own a backyard. So in any event, this is important information to know. Marco, is there any way you can stroll it towards the right? Because it seemed like part of that is cut off where, okay, wait, hold on. Is it my, oh, I got it. It was my screen, I'm sorry. 39 common weeds that you can eat or use for medicine. So did y'all know that if you do have a backyard, or if you know someone with a backyard, let them know that a lot of the things they call weeds can be used as medicine, right? Dandelion. Have you ever had dandelion tea or whatever? It has some health benefits. That's considered a weed. A lot of these things considered weeds are medicinal medicines right in your backyard. And, people go and cut them down or get rid of them or put pesticides on their lawn. But if you learn about these different weeds, you can know their uses, and you can probably pick them and save them for medicine to be used either now or at some point in the future. All right, so this talks about the 39 common weeds you eat or use for medicine. So it says, step outside your door and look around at your lawn and garden. You probably see a few common weeds. Now look again. You might also be looking at dinner or the ingredients for a poultice to ease that rash that's nagging you. So they can be used. This stuff can be used for food, or this stuff can be used for even like if you have a rash or something like that, or allergic reaction. Then the Most High say in Genesis that He has given us every herb that bears seed for meat. Every seed yielding herb is for meat, which meat in that time really just meant for food. Meat as we know it today is flesh, but meat during this time in Genesis it referred to food source. So it's easy to disregard weeds as a troublesome nuisance to be yanked or poisoned at the first opportunity. But many weeds are actually not only edible, they're also medicinal and can improve your health as well. So let's see. These are 39 common weeds you could use, you could eat or use for medicine. So you see that? Someone made tea. You have gardener's path. Let's see. All right, Salaki. Yaladin. Okay. My children always fighting. Okay, so you have, hold on just a second. Salaki, my Yoladim are kind of fighting. So these are the 39 common edible and medicinal weeds: bitter cross, borage, brambles, burdock, chickweed, chicory, clatonia, cleavers, clover, creeping Charlie, dandelion, dead nettle, dock, ferns, firewood, garlic mustard, goosefoot, gorse, horsetail, knotweed, kudzu, lady's thumb, lamb's quarter, mallow, mullein, nightshade, pigweed, pineapple weed, plantain, not plantain that looks like a banana. There's an actual leaf called plantain. Parasane, self-heal, shepherd's purse, sorrel, sumac, stinging nettle, thistle, valerian, violets, and yarrow. It said you might be surprised by how many edible wild plants are out there. Of all the known plants, edible make up about a quarter of them. A vast majority, about 70% of edible wild plants are used primarily for the greens, with just 5% of wild foods being made up of seeds and nuts. This means you probably can't survive by eating weeds alone, but every single weed on this list has at least one medicinal use. So even if you don't plan to eat all of these, they still have value. It goes without saying, but I will emphasize it anyway that you should always be certain that you identify weeds you can pick correctly. You should also be certain that you're only harvesting the plant you're aiming for. Some plants like chickweed can often be found with other plants like poison hemlock growing amongst them. Okay. Is there any way you could stroll up, Sister Marka? It says a note of caution. Remember never to forage in areas where this is not permitted and only consume plants that are safe to eat, positively identified, and not contaminated with chemicals or pollutants. So that's another thing. You got to make sure these things aren't like laced and sprayed with chemicals, pesticides and herbicides and those things. Everyone reacts to plant chemicals differently, so be sure to proceed with caution and taste sparingly. Taste sparingly if you aren't sure about any potential allergies. Medicinal applications should always be used under the guidance of a licensed healthcare practitioner, and one's personal health status as well as potential prescription drug interactions should always be considered. It says, I left a few common weeds off this list because they have some poisonous lookalikes that make them hard to identify for the beginning forager. For instance, cow parsley is a marvelous substitute for sherwood, but it's hard to tell apart from poison hemlock unless you know what to look for. It says, all right, enough with that, with the chat, let's jump in. So here you have on the first list, bitter cross. So it says there's some debate about bittercress, there's some debate about what constitutes a bittercress, but it's basically any species in the cardamine genus qualifies, while those in the Dentaria genus are considered toothworts. Some taxonomists are in horticulturists consider separating Dentaria species from those belonging to the cardamine genus to be outdated, and many have been reclassified. But in this practical world, most people maintain the separation to help with identification, which is particularly useful for foragers. So this is bittercress. That's what that looked like. It said both are edible, but bittercress is more weedy and found in yard. Toothworts have a better flavor and grow from rhizomes that are extremely tasty with a mild horseradish note. Consider bittercress an herbal seasoning rather than the main course. It doesn't have a bitter flavor surprise, but more of a mustardy note. You'll most often run across hairy bittercress, particularly in well-irrigated lawns, which are of its favorite spots. The plant forms a basal rosette of petite leaves on a long list in the spring. Small white flowers appear on a right stem. Both the seeds and the leaves are the best part to eat, but the entire plant is edible. All right. It says, note that some species of bittercress are native and listed as endangered or at risk, so aim for the weedy species you find in your yard rather than the rare stuff that grows in forests understories. Then it talks about borage. It said it can be weedy in some areas, while in other areas it is a treasured wildflower, carefully cultivated herb. Again, it's all about perspective. The bright blue flowers make a pretty addition to a wildflower garden, and pollinators love them. Oh, it looks so pretty. Oh, it looks so pretty. It'll probably make me a nice little lemonade from that. Very exotic looking. It said the leaves and flowers taste like cucumber. Interesting. And the whole plant has long been used to treat anxiety and depression. See, this is something I could probably use because I suffer from anxiety. And then you have 3 brambles. Bramble is actually a good term for multiple plant, like in the Rumus genus. While we love some berry plants like salmonberry and raspberry, others like the Himalayan blackberry are definitely a nuisance. If you ever been grabbed by the ruthless thorny vines, then you know what I'm talking about. They can quickly take over your entire yard, plus the neighbor's yard too. But as annoying as this invasive plant is, it says blackberries. It produces the blackberries that this plant produces are delicious in the summer when the berries are ripe. That you burst when you merely walk by. You can find me stuffing my mouth full of them. You might want to wash the berries first because they're often full of little bugs, or just consider them some bonus protein. By the way, you can also eat the young shoots, peel the spiny exterior, and eat the interior. Burdock. Burdock root is a plant. I think it's a blood purifier. I love burdock root. If you have burdock in your yard, consider yourself lucky. I know it seems like having a Velcro like birds latching onto your dog's fur or your favorite sweater couldn't be anything but a curse. I mean, the seeds has actually inspired the inventor of Velcro after all, but the roots, stems, and shoots can be eaten and they're delicious. All right. It says you can also eat the leaves, but they're not so delicious unless you do a lot of work to prepare them. Burdock is also used medicinally as a diuretic and to ease constipation. The leaves can be used as a poultice to treat rashes and eczema. My daughters have eczema. This would be good. Look for the large, ruffled, arrow-shaped leaves in disturbed areas and abandoned gardens. You can also mistake burdock for young rhubarb plants. The spiky thistle-like flowers don't emerge until the plant's second year as it is biennial. So feel free to use the whole thing up to the first year. When you dig up the plant, you'll find a carrot-like taproot that can weigh as much as 3 pounds. Burdock root is extremely popular in Japanese, Russian, and Korean cuisine. So I wouldn't recommend trying to cultivate this plant known as gobo in Japan. It's invasive and you don't want it taking over your garden. Just go for the wild stuff since it's everywhere. Don't confuse burdock and butterbar, which has rounder leaves and red flowers. Burdock's flowers are purple. Though their name sounds similar, burdock isn't related to dock, which we'll discuss in just a bit. If any of you ladies would like to read some of these not herbs, some of these weeds off the list, feel free. Chickweed is an invasive weed. It says it's right there in the name that came to North America from Europe. Fortunately, it also has edible leaves, stems, and flowers, so you can put it to good use. All right. As an added bonus, it can be evergreen and survives the winter under dense conifer cover where few other plants can thrive, which means you have winter source of nutrients. Chickweed. It's sweet. It has a sweet, grassy flavor that makes a nice addition to salads or a sandwich. It says you could use the leaves of this weed instead of basil to make some pesto. All right. Dried it makes you a tasty tea. Of all the plants on this list, it's one of the best tasting, so don't pass it up, okay? Medicinally, it could be used to make a poultice, a diuretic, or an embalmment. This tea is good. This tea is useful for treating a dry cough. Chickweed is an annual that crawls along the ground with small oval leaves, a round stem, and small white flowers. It is common in garden beds, especially rose beds. Don't confuse it with scarlet pimpernel, which is toxic and has square stems and red leaves. Look for the line hairs on just one of the stem. The side where these appear changes between each node. That's a definitive way to tell chickpea apart from any lookalike. Then you have chicory. It says more and more these days, chicory is being cultivated once again as a veggie and as a coffee substitute rather than being pulled as an unpleasant weed. It is easily identified in a bright blue-purple inflorescence on stalks that grow up to 3 feet tall. Look for it on roadsides and in disturbed areas. That's very pretty. Chicory. It's a very, very pretty flower. It says the roots and leaves are both edible, but the root is what most people use. If you roast the root in the oven until it's dark brown and hard, it says you could grind it up and brew it like coffee. All right, interesting. The leaves have a spicy flavor while the flowers are a bit more subtle. Most people prefer the flavor of dandelion greens over the more bitter ones like chicory. It says, but I find it's a matter of proportion, just like endive can be a fabulous addition to a bowl full of lettuce. Chopped chicory leaves are also a pleasant addition. If the leaves aren't your things, you can harvest the crown of the plant, remove the root and the green parts of the leaves, and eat the crown whole or chopped. Medicinally, it's considered an inferior substitute for dandelion with the same diuretic, laxative, and liver stimulating qualities. And so I always feel lucky to have chicory in my yard. Not only is it edible, but I think the flowers are simply stunning. The vibrant blue-purple hue stands out, and each blossom only appears a day before it's spent. I think it's a beautiful flower as well, and medicinal, so that's a bonus. How many more is on these lists, Sister Marco? Let's see. We have Claytonia. Claytonia includes several species of plants that go by various names, such as miner's lettuce, spring beauty, pink, purslane, and candy flower. The latter common name is no misnomer. The blossoms are incredibly floral and sweet that you might think you're eating candy.
Is there something wrong with the sound? Like, I don't know.
All right, just a minute.
On your side.
Was the audio kind of shaky?
Yes.
Is it still like that, or is it better?
No, it's better now.
Okay. So it says with Claytonia on our list of number 7, says the blossoms are so incredibly floral and sweet, you might think you're eating candy. Okay. What else is on this list, Sister Marka? Let's see. You have cleavers. They earn their name because the leaves cleave to clothing, pet fur, and just about anything else they can get their tiny hooks into. These species prefer moist areas, but it's not too picky and can find it in drier areas as well. Does it say the health benefits? It said the plant is used medicinally as a diuretic and topically as a salve. Okay. Then you have clover. I've personally used red clover. I think is a great plant. Clover is cultivated in some areas of Europe and North America as a fodder, but in areas is annoying weed. Red clover is particularly worth pulling from your garden because it's high in protein, calcium, B complex vitamins, vitamins A and C. I think I had used did I use red clover during pregnancy? I think I did. And I think I had used it for nausea, morning sickness. Yeah, it's great. It's also a great fertility herb. A lot of people use this for fertility purpose. Red clover and raspberry, red raspberry, especially when you combine those two, they're very, very good for boosting fertility as well.
Yeah, you can use it on your cycles too.
Mm-hmm. You can use it for nausea. A lot of women, I think my sister had bad morning sickness. I had got it for her. I think I had used it as well from this herbalist I got in Brooklyn. And yeah, you can use it for different things. Some women use it to boost their fertility rate. So yeah, it's a great plant. Creeping Charlie. Ground ivy or creeping Charlie has kidney-shaped tooth leaves and purple flowers from March to June, depending on where you live. It's extremely common in lawns or other garden areas that receive regular moisture. What's the health benefits? Let's see. While it is toxic in horses in large amounts, the leaves are safe for human consumption. The dried crushed leaves are used medicinally. Okay, you can use this for coughs, bronchitis, and other lung issues. Then you have dandelion. I'm sure mostly I have heard of dandelion, if not all of us. It's it says it's an oblong, heavily toothed leaves, bright yellow, inflorescence. It's a common weed in lawns, fields, gardens, and roadsides. Of course, I've had dandelion tea as well. This should be used in moderation because from what I read on this, even this in high dosages can have some potential side effects. So be careful, everything in moderation, ladies. The roots, flowers, and leaves are all edible. The young leaves are grassy and mellow, while the older leaves take on a bitter flavor. They're edible, raw, cooked, and the flowers are best eaten raw. You could throw it right on a salad. You could make it with lemonade. It says you can make dandelion wine, syrup, and coffee, or even harvest a tightly packed flower bud to make dandelion capers. It says, wow, dandelions have more beta carotene than carrots. Okay, all right now. It says you can even find newer cultivators of dandelions that are intended to be cultivated and eaten or grown as ornamentals. It's about time dandelions make a comeback because they have been an important part of human culture as long as we have kept records. It said if you miss harvesting young leaves, you could place a piece of cardboard over the plant for a few weeks to blanch it out and reduce the bitterness. If you plan to harvest the roots, at which point the leaves are usually old and bitter, consider drying the leaves to use as a parsley-like herb. Is also valuable medicinally for digestive issues and treating skin injuries. Number 12 is dead nettle. They're in the mint family. They look like stinging nettle. It said you could, what does that say? You could rub the leaf between your fingers. It said when you rub the leaf between your fingers, you can understand the mint relation because the pungent aroma it produces. All right. That's what it looks like. Dead nettle looks like this. It's good to know what they look like too. So if you see it, you can find this weed almost everywhere in lawns, disturbed areas, gardens, and just about anywhere else they're given the opportunity to grow. It said they pop up early in the year and stick around during the winter in mild regions where they send up purple flowers. Dying on the leaves, the flowers, or the stems. It says the purple leaves tend to be bittersweet than the green leaves. Medicinally, people use this species as an astringent and diuretic. It also looks like henbit, but both are edible, so don't worry about plucking something toxic by accident. Number 13 is dock. They have about 200 species. They have a close, it says relative to sorrel. I don't know if you ladies ever drink sorrel. It's a reddish drink. To me, it tastes kind of similar to cranberry juice. I've drank it from like Jamaican people as a drink. Is I think good for immune system. And yeah, it says in the broadleaf dock are the most common. It says the leaves are lance-shaped and green, sometimes with red spots and veins. The margins are often curled or ruffled. All right, so this is all right. Okay. You have ferns. This is it says ferns can be a lovely addition to your yard or pain, and that depending on whatever you want them there or not. It says ferns are native and make a positive contribution to the environment, while some are introduced weeds and can become invasive. So these are what ferns look like. If anyone have a yard, this is what it looks like. It says licorice ferns, which grow on trees, have edible rhizomes that have a sweet licorice flavor and that native people enjoy as a sweet treat. Young green rhizomes are best. Lady ferns have edible fiddle heads like the curried young sprouting fronds and roots. It says you can also eat the fiddle heads of bracken ferns, though they're a bit more controversial in edible use because they're potentially carcinogenic. This is a bit of a long list. I'm just going to skim through it. So you also have fireweed. This is what it looks like. Let's see. Let me see what it said. It has lots of beta carotene, vitamin C, a mild laxative effect. Let me see, that's fireweed. That's garlic mustard. Is one of the most hated weeds, it says. All right. What I didn't say the medicinal properties of it. Goosefoot. This is goosefoot. You could use it the same way you use spinach. You could roast the seeds. You could use it medicinally. You could use it as a laxative. You could use it topically. So don't eat too much because if you use too much, it causes laxative effects. It's confused with lamb's quarter. All right, both are edible though. Gorse. This is what gorse looks like. Let's see. You could use this to repel fleas medicinally. Let's see. Horsetail. I've heard of horsetail. That's what horsetail looks like, ladies. I've seen the capsules on Amazon, the horsetail. I think I use it even in one of my supplements. It's used medicinally as a diuretic and to treat lung issues. Okay. Knotweed. This is knotweed. Let's see. It has bamboo-like stalk, harp shape. They have a lemony flavor. Let's see, what are the health benefits? It says once they harden, it says the shoots must be flexible and springy. Once they harden, become inedible. I don't see what the health, it doesn't specify health benefits of it. Kudzu. This is kudzu. You might see this in your garden. It says in Chinese medicine, they've been used for centuries for treating nausea, hangovers, and the flu. And you can buy it also the powder of kudzu in grocery stores, Chinese grocery stores. And you can use it as a thickening agent in cooking as well. Ladies' lamb. Let's see. Ladies' lamb. You can use it to treat like insect bites and stings, and to ease stomach issues if you take it internally. This is lamb's quarter here. Let's see what the health benefits of lamb's quarter is. It says it's high in potassium, calcium, phosphorus. It's related to quinoa. The seeds are used as a substitute oftentimes. Okay. Very nutritious, flavorful. Here's mallow on number 24. You see how that looks like? You can boil the root. You could use it topically. You could soothe rashes and skin irritation. Boiled to ease or cough. Boiled to ease a cough or sore throats. All right. This is mullein, number 25. It says you don't often see this in gardens or lawns, though.
Yeah, I have this herbs at home. I have this at home here. It's really good for you, like your lungs and stuff.
Yeah. Listen, a lot of these weeds that people just pull out and throw away, the reason why I'm going over this stuff is because we're talking about preparation. So if you have a garden, or if you know someone with a garden, just try to look into some of this stuff. Make sure you positively identify it before just using it, because some of this stuff have a toxic lookalike. But once you know, even you could take it to maybe a licensed herbalist or somebody who specializes in plants. Make sure you know what it is and just start saving this stuff, because aren't we going to need medicine when that time comes, right? When we're low on food storage. So you're going to need medicine, and you're going to need things for food. So make sure that you can use your backyard as a kitchen, or use it as a place to find medicinal things. Number 26 is nightstand. It says, let's see, what are the medicinal properties here? It doesn't, can you scroll to the bottom? Let's see, can you scroll a little bit up? It's pretty easy to tell, Bologna. This is talking about belladonna. So I guess they're trying to say belladonna and the other one have similar properties. It says, once you're sure you identify the right plant, you could use the berries as you would any other. You could eat them in pies, made into jams, as topping for desserts, yogurt, or just by the handful. They taste like a ripe tomato and blueberry had a delicious baby. That's hilarious. Number 27 is pigweed. Okay, this is pigweed. It says, you could eat the leaves and stem, and they're particularly tasty when they're young. It says they have a musty scent. It says the flower clusters are spiny. The lower part of the stem is red, making it easy to pick out. All right. It says it's high in vitamins. This is amaranth is high in protein and many vitamins and minerals. Okay. Then you have number 28, pineapple weed. This is what that looks like. It said it looks a bit like chamomile. It don't look like chamomile to me. Chamomile has yellow flower, but it says you can drink it like the same way as chamomile tea for calming abilities. It says pineapple weed is used medicinally for the same effect. All right. Number 29 is plantain. Once again, not plantain, the actual banana looking thing, but this is what the plantain they're talking about, the leaves. It says you could eat the leaves and seeds of this plant. The younger leaves are tasty fresh. The older greens should be cooked. Try them battered or fried. You can also try the seeds. You can add it to breads or crackers, ground wheat flour, or alternative. Okay. It says it can leave a mild laxative effect, so you might want to be careful using it too much. All right. Let's see. You could place it on a wound. Number 30 is purslane. And this is what that looks like. You can eat all of the above ground parts. It usually uses medicine for diuretic and anti-inflammatory. Number 31 is self-heal. I never even heard of this. Oh, that's very pretty. A very pretty flower. It says you can eat the entire thing, the roots. You can eat the plant, the flowers. You could eat it raw. You could eat it cooked. It doesn't say. Oh, people have used it to heal sore throat for centuries. Okay, so you could use it for sore throat. That's a usage. And I think there's one more, shepherd's purse. This is what shepherd's purse look like. I definitely heard of this one. Can you scroll down, Sister Martha? Let's see. Oh, there is another one. Is it 33? Okay, so let's see. For number 32. Sorrel, like I was saying, for sorrel, I've had the drink sorrel from Jamaicans, and to me, it kind of tastes like somewhat like cranberry juice. Some people don't like the taste to it though. Let's see. It says it has an apple-like flavor. I think it tastes like cranberry. It says this can be used. Yeah, it does have a tarty flavor to it. That's true. Yeah, you could use this. You could use it as a juice. I believe this has very good immune system boosting effects to it, from what I was told from the Caribbean people that you drink it. It's very, very common Jamaican delicacy that they use, sorrel, that they drink, that they consume. Okay, sting and nettle. How many was on that list? I don't remember. Was it 39? Okay, so it says sting and nettle. This is what it looks like. It has lots of calcium to it. It has 65 calories per 100 grams. They should always be cooked or dried. This is what this looks like. Okay, so it says, speaking of wear gloves and long sleeve shirt when you harvest this stuff, I know people have figured it out how to harvest barehanded. It says if you're gonna harvest it, use gloves. All right. Medicinally, people use this as a diuretic and anti-inflammatory agent. In Latin America, the fresh leaves are whipped into the lower back to ease sciatica. Oh, really? Because I have that kind of nerve pain. So this is good to know. All right. And it's good for relieving seasonal allergies. Sumac. Wow, look at that. The berries are edible. All right. You can only eat them from the trees that produce red berries. It says there is one poisonous sumac out there, but it has white berries. Okay, so know the difference between the white and the red berries. All right. I'm not seeing the health benefits, but some of this is food as well. So you have medicinal and food. Thistles look unwelcoming with their spiny leaves and flowers. It says they're both edible, have medicinal properties. So whether it's the Canada thistle or bull thistle, it's blessed thistle. I said both of them are edible, and this is what thistle looks like. They're fairly easy to recognize. And it says you can steam them, the flowers, the roots, the peeled stems. The roots can only be eaten before the flowers have formed, okay? Let's see. Where's the medicinal property with this? It could be, it says milk thistle can be used as a liver tonic. It could be used as a liver tonic. Valerian This is valerian. This is what that looks like. This plants love neglected areas with poor soil and full sun. If you boil up the root repeatedly, pouring out the replacing the water, you could reduce some of the bitterness. So it's bitter. It's used medicinally as a sedative. Or some people use this plant medicinally as a sedative, but they're likely confusing the plant with true valerian. The plant can have depressive effect on the nervous system. Okay. And then violets. Everyone know what violets are, right? I said all of the flowers are edible regardless of the species. The leaves are also edible. It could cause upset stomach because of the quantity of saponins they contain. The leaves are diuretic and have laxative qualities. Native Americans use the roots to induce vomiting, which is a good reason not to eat them. Okay. Generally look for small flowers with 5 petals over heart-shaped leaves. The leaves will have wintergreen flavor and flowers are sweet. The flowers are lovely candy. If you're looking for a good recipe, check out our site. Yarrow, common yarrow. This is what yarrow looks like. The plant is edible. All right, the tincture can be made from the plant, used to stop bleeding, and it really works. And it also could be used internally to prevent blood clots and lower blood pressure. So people with hypertension, people who are prone to blood clots, stroke, those type of things, heart attack, this would be a good plant, a good weed, as they call it. So I'm sorry, ladies, I know the list was long and extensive, but again, just going to
with this sound again.
hold on.
Oh, now it's back.
Oh, hear it again? Okay. I'm sorry for the extensive and long list, but I know I don't want to bore you ladies. I'm just making sure we all have the proper knowledge and information, okay? So feel free to visit this site, Gardens Path, is it Garden Path or gardenspath.com? Or you could just Google, or you can go to DuckDuckGo, another site browser I use, and you can look up the weeds, medicinal weeds, and that you get, the ones that are edible and medicinal. Okay, Gardener's Path. That's the name of the website. So if you ladies want to look more into this in your spare time, okay. The next thing, ladies. So we talked about one of the things to have on a survival list is water filter, right? So if we're in the wilderness or we're in a place where we can't carry around a huge water filter, as I told you ladies, I have something called a life straw. I wish I had it to show you, but I gotta look around. I stored it up somewhere. But the life straw is a perfect tool to have when you're in a place where the water might not be clean, have bacteria and stuff in it. This is Amazon. It's showing you can get 3 of these life straws for $44.95. All right, this is a 3-pack. You could also find the ones that are single. You can find a 5-pack. I was just giving you an example here. All right, so this is a tiny, is a portable water filter device. You could use it for hiking, camping, travel, emergency preparedness. Okay, so I would highly recommend you ladies get the life straw. Okay, I highly recommend you get the life straw for yourself and for your family, so that if it ever comes down to it, where you're in a situation where you need clean drinking water, the life straw, you put it inside the water, and through the other end, the dirty water, the contaminants comes out, and it has a mini filter inside that filters out the contaminants in the water, and you drink it, and the clean water is coming in to your mouth. Okay, so I really recommend this. Amazon, eBay, they have different sites that sell it. Yeah, here's a 5-pack. The 5-pack, I don't say the price. I don't think it's the same price, but for the 3-pack and a 5-pack. But yeah, this is a 3-pack. They have the one by itself too. But if you want to get it like in bulk for you and your family or your loved ones, or this is a 5-pack. Okay, the 5-pack is $64.95. Not bad when you talk about a survival tool, right? We want to have clean water. So this is important. If you order this now, you'll get it by October 19th. Today's the 13th. All right. So, you just have time to prepare and save up for the things you need. All right. If you have to start putting $10 aside each time you get paid, it helps. Everything adds up. $15, $20 every time, you have some income come in. It'll save up for these essential necessities. All right. Also, we had discussed gardening and growing food. There's something called hydroponics. Have y'all heard of hydroponics? Hydroponics is an indoor, you can use it as an indoor gardening system. All right, you can grow herbs. It has its own light. So let's say you're in a situation where you are in cold weather, where you can't really put your plants out in the cold, because we know that in the cold weather, the plants will die. And we're growing our fruits and vegetables in the cold. And trust me, it happened to me where I didn't listen. I left it out in the cold on my fire escape. And guess what? Wintertime rolled around and I was growing my bell peppers and my tomatoes, and wintertime came because I didn't want my cat to eat my plant from the inside. So I kept it outside. And guess what? My plants died. So I have a hydroponics. I ordered on Amazon. Me and my daughters are gonna grow some stuff from, from inside, especially when it gets cold. We're gonna start growing our stuff from inside too. All right. This is aluminum. I don't know if you want to get the aluminum, but I'm just giving an example that they have hydroponic system for as little as $50. All right. This is $49.99. And if you click that little box where it says coupon, it says you can save an extra 40% when you apply this coupon. See that little box? You click on that little box. It even has a coupon. And then when you go to checkout, it'll knock some money off of that. All right. So there's some more, there's some less expensive. This one is $79.99. And again, this one has a coupon. All right. Now we know the best way is, of course, using the soil, using the sun, that's the best way. But this is an alternative. If you don't have access to a way to grow your stuff in the sun or with the soil, this is a way you can grow your fruits and vegetables. A small little hydroponics kit, $80, $50. They have some that's $1,000 and hundreds. I didn't even go into those price ranges. I'm showing you the ones that are more cost efficient. All right. You see, I have 12 pods. You see, you don't need a soil for this. You don't need the sunlight for this. This has a light that it helps the stuff to grow. All right. It has a vegetable mode and a flower mode. All right. So once again, we're talking about preparation 101. How can we grow our food? You might live in an area where you might live in an apartment like me. You might not have a house. You might not have a backyard. You might not yet have, those things, but there are alternatives. Okay, there are alternatives. So if you're able to, I would truly recommend getting a hydroponic system, ladies. All right. I would truly recommend getting a hydroponic system, especially if you live somewhere where you don't have a backyard or a garden, where you can't garden, or especially if you live somewhere where it gets cold, because during the winter time, we know that it's harder to grow things. So I would invest in the hydroponics. system. These are just some ways we can prepare. You can take your hydroponic system and you can grow your little basil, your thyme, your oregano, your herbs, your little vegetables. So I recommend it. All right. I recommend it. If it's kind of you think it's not affordable, and if some people on a fixed income, I would just recommend every time you get a little something, put a little something to the side. Have some mattress money. That's another thing. Have some mattress money. Please have mattress money. Even if you have a bank account, because I don't know if y'all remember years ago in Greece where they shut the banks down and them people could not get their money out the banks. So it's always good to have mattress money stored up. Always good to have a little piggy banks, where you could just go and dig in there just in case you need access to some funds. At some point the dollar might collapse and everything might go digital. But while we can, let's try to stock up on the things we need, okay? All right. So any questions, ladies? Any comments, any concerns? Anything you want to say? Sorry, I know it's a lot of reading. I hope it was informative though. I know it's long, but it's great to have knowledge of these things. Sometimes information could be boring, but it's vital. And the Most High is letting us know now is the time to act. Try to get your little list together where you can work on even like the smaller things, the basic essentials of having water. We know a couple years ago in Texas where they had that snowstorm, which is rare for a place like Texas. And they had these bugs and stuff and these worms in their water. They couldn't even drink their water. They couldn't even shower in their water. One of the sisters had those big, big, big jugs of water where she was able to use it to clean, to not clean, to like wash dishes, drink and bathe. And she said, thank goodness I had these waters, because you never know what's gonna happen. Look at our brothers and sisters in Jacksonville, Mississippi, and what they're going through. And the Lion of Judah Armed Forces, we did our part in raising money for our brothers and sisters out there to have access to clean water. Look at what our brothers and sisters in Flint, Michigan were going through years ago, and how long that situation went on and went on and went on and went on. And we live in one of the most richest nations. We live in one of the most richest countries in the world. To have something like that go on for so long with our brothers and sisters in Flint, Michigan, we know it's by design. But what I'm trying to say is that we never know when it can happen to us, right? Or someone we know, our loved ones. So we just want to make sure we're doing our due diligence and we're doing our part to prepare if this ever comes up in our situation, right? So that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to make sure that we don't wait to the last minute, then we like, but then it's too late. The supermarkets might be empty, or things are closing down. We want to just get on it now while we still have the time, while we have this small window of opportunity. We want to make sure we're getting our things together in order right now. Okay. Anybody have anything to say? Oh, Sister Marco, please don't forget to send what was it, Queen J? You wanted the website for the first one we looked at? The link? I can send it to you also. I think it was the first link. It was the kit, right? The survival kit. Yeah, they have long shelf lives, 5 years plus. Nobody wants to starve out here, We're gonna see things get hectic, especially if you live in like a bigger city like New York. I'm preparing to leave. I'm making, me and my family, we trying to get out of here soon. Get off the grid. We don't want to be here. The Most High, we don't live in fear, but it's just about having discernment, and it's just about being wise, and being out of the face of danger and chaos and mayhem, so that when that time happens, we know we don't live in fear. But you're still supposed to be wise, and you're still supposed to make preparations. The Most High doesn't say be fearful, but it's good to be prepared, because we know all prophecies must come to pass, and we know the word tells us that these things are going to go down. So we're just saying when it goes down, let's make sure we have our necessities and our resources. All right.
Coucou.